And we're back. Canada just scores, goes up 1-1 exactly when the internet comes back and I'm finally able to connect. I don't know exactly what happens with my internet right now, but I'm talking to my damn service provider. But Kone on the finish, high, far ball, deep post. That's Bombito getting up in the air, and Kone. The scissor kick. The scissor kick. And we scored. Whew. And I know probably I'm saying this all to myself as people start scrambling, hopefully, to come over. I'm going to have to go and see where we're at as far as... That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. The new Marseille man. One person watching as I'm going to start to adjust all of the advertising and all that sort of stuff to let people know that this is where I'm at. And draw in the new chat links and all of those fun things. What happened? I keep losing my internet. It's twice in a row. I'm going to have to contact my internet provider. It's at about the same point. It's about 10 minutes in, and then it carries me through. But all of a sudden, everything goes, and I lose everything. I lose my stream. I lose the TVs. I lose everything in the house. The whole internet cooks down just by doing that. I thought the first time it was just a one-off in the heat, but it's happened twice now, and so I don't know if there's a new problem. I haven't changed anything. The computer's the same power, same connection, same everything as before. So I don't know. Hell of a time to go down, but it's 1-1 now. I know I gotta bump that one up, and the joy of all of this madness is I've got to reformat everything, and so I'm gonna do that while trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on. Wait, it's 2-1 now? No, they're gonna score right here. There it is. Flag up. Flag up. Flag up. But yeah, one of the things that I hope for is that we end up limiting the spoilers, but I get it. People have been here for the first time for some, for many, and so we'll figure it all out, but I'm not worried about this one. The coach is figuring out, hey, all good, man. We're figuring this out, and I'm having my stuff crash over the summer heat. And yeah, it does look like he's offside. Whew, okay. Have a deep breath. Have a deep breath. The emotions are there, though. The coach is into this. I mean, Canada scoring one, all of a sudden, that's sort of a bit of a wake-up call, I think, to Uruguay. Go and hold on a second. These guys aren't to be taken lightly. At least I hope that that's the message. So, lots going on, and they're doing the full goal check right now. So we'll get the official announcement as it comes through, and my scoreboard disappears. Don't mind me as I click around and you hear all of that stuff. Maybe while they do this, I should go a little faster so that we can get it all set up while it's happening. He says, "Play on." Whew! Dodged a bullet. Fortunate. We'll take it. Fortunate, but we got some things that we got to clean up in the back in any event. No way. If you guys aren't following the news, you might want to do this. Is that for real, for real?
Yes, yeah. 10 minutes ago. Shot at is all bleeding.
Trump was just shot. Donald Trump.
Shot at.
I think he was shot, but not massive. They think my wife just came in 11 minutes ago. It was posted up. Yikes. All that stuff going on. Oh, he wasn't shot? Okay. So that was... I didn't hear the news out of the U.S. I've been in my bubble at a 2-year-old's freaking thing, so... but that's good to hear. I mean, I don't like the guy, let's be honest. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I don't believe that anybody who is a politician or runs for public office deserves that as an outcome, or anybody for that matter. That's a different topic. We got the chat back up. At but not hurt. Oh, there was some blood on his ears. So it looks like he'll be okay. Another critically injured. So a lot going on there in the world besides what's happening here is we're going to get a throw-in on that side, and I'm trying to update that. So I've got everything working here. I'm just going to go and update the back-of-house stuff just so that people that come to the channel might be able to find me. And the game just doesn't end up saying it's just me doing my thing. So let's go live to this one. Home. We got 7 people back. We were higher than that before, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna So you have to tell me what you think the reaction is for Uruguay. I mean, obviously a top level team playing in a third place match after the disappointment of a 1-0 loss against Colombia. They come out, they get the early goal. They probably think, this is the Canada we expected. And it's a Canada that's only scored 2 goals in the 9 that they played. France, Holland didn't, or the Netherlands didn't score. Didn't score against Argentina twice. We got 1 against Chile and nothing against Peru, and then we got Argentina on penalty kicks after no goals. 2 goals in all of those. It's has been a bit of a mess on that front, but we've got results, and so there's something to be said about that. Yeah, it does look like he was nicked in the ear, and that'll change things. I don't like that. I don't like, as much as I criticize the tar out of him, and I would be shocked if, as a Canadian looking out, and I think anybody outside of the U.S. that looks and thinks that he might actually get another nod at the presidency, is baffling. Nobody deserves to have that sort of stuff happen. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So this one back and forth as we go through things. It's really been third to third. Nobody's in the last 5 minutes, 28 minutes in, pushing through. As Bombito just runs that thing for about 40 yards, dodges one guy, goes around, and Schaffelberg, but it goes through. Nobody touched it. I wonder what Schaffelberg was thinking on that one. It makes no sense. Oh, come on. Where am I and what's my name here right now? I'm losing track of what windows are open and what windows aren't open. So we'll go with that. We'll change the thumbnail. And we'll change the title, and at least then people will know that we're here. Kone's been on a run. He's had that kick, and this guy thinks he can take on anybody. And to be fair, that first goal was pretty sexy. That scissor kick, finding it with the boot and flicking it up in the air and over top. I mean, that's a scorer's goal. That's some talent. And what else could he do with that ball that's looping away from him other than to do that? I don't think he could have jumped up and got it with his head. And so he goes with the only option available is Chaudier. No, he went down on his own. That was a good call by the official there. I will take that one, as much as I would have liked to for him to give it, as Schaffelberg ends up getting wiped out by his own player. Yeah, W&G, we were just talking about that. Donald was nicked in the ear. He was shot. Yeah. Crazy world that we live in. It is unfortunate. And I don't know which one I'm in here, so I'm going to have to go into both of them. They're looking at it, whether this is a penalty. De Fougerolles again, the young guy. He's just not. Oh no, he's on his own. He's on his own. If that was I mean, it's Copa America. Who knows what's going to happen? But if that ends up being a penalty, I have to end up eating a hat, because that just doesn't make any sense. Same thing. Alright, save that, and now I can clear everything up. What a mess. You lose the internet and everything falls apart, but we're back here now. Lost ball. It's been a messy, scrambly one, and let me know if you guys are in agreement with that. There have been opportunities both ways. There's been lots of space in the midfield, and the tackling's been a little bit lazy. This one, not pretty. And I think, Oluwase gets one looped over and could have landed on his left foot, just missed. And so random, absolutely 100%. It's an achievement in itself. It's money in the bank. We're up to $2 million earned for Canada Soccer. and we're playing top teams for the first time in forever, and all away, or at least on neutral ground, right? Which you definitely have to take. So I'm going to turn that to private so nobody logs into it. And we're going to set everything up. We're almost back up to normal and just in time for the internet probably to end up crapping out. So that should all work now. Boom. All right, now we can focus on this. 32 minutes in. I haven't looked at the stats. I got to update those. Let's have a look at FOTMob and see what the possession's been telling me. I actually missed the 12 minutes I was away. And I apologize for that. I'm gonna have to have a conversation with the internet provider to figure out everything, because that just cannot continue at all. And then I've got a whole week before we get to the Wrexham preseason, the start of the Rex Coast Tour. I've got a potential surprise in the back pocket that we'll see what ends up happening. I've got a potential design change that's happening. I've got potential upgrades and graphics and things that are all coming out, and I may end up just leading a couple of late night West Coast. Which one are you going to? Bournemouth? Vancouver? I've got a... I want to do a couple of videos, but I think I want to get into the habit of starting to do them live rather than recording and editing them. They're not going to be as professional, but they're easier to put together. So random. And so, are you coming to all of the other events? And are you in town, or are you coming? Because Men in Blazers has their thing on the Thursday. Parky's going to be there with Humphrey. And then we've got the Thursday at the Vancouver Welsh Hall, the only dedicated Welsh Society hall in all of North America is in Vancouver. We'll be there for that one on the Thursday. And then Saturday before the game, I'm hosting at the Pint, and I may have a surprise for that. We're finalizing things. It's not the biggest surprise. If people are thinking, oh, is Ryan going to be there? I have no word on that, but it's going to be, I know Wayne Jones from the Turf is going to be there. I know that there's Declan Swans, Michael from Declan Swans is going to be there. And I know that Rob Ryan Red, Nathan and Rich, as well as Tim and Andy Gilpin from Fearless in Devotion are going to be there. So we're going to have a whole host of characters, and it's looking like it's about 200, I think. But the way that it's growing, I may end up having a lineup around the hall. I think you know my dad. Huh. Now I'm fascinated. You'll have to let me know, maybe in a chat or an email, who your dad is. If you want to send it here, I'm happy to chat that one and figure that out. FOTMob stats: 57% possession for us. Expected goals are in our favor. Total shots are 4-4, and we've had 2 big chances. So there, you can take all that in and digest it for what it's worth. I would just say the big issue, and here's de Fougerolles getting a chance to show his worth. He does not bad. That's a flop. Oh, Nunez. I hate that. Or at least give a yellow for simulation. Like Nunez kicking out his feet and doing that. Are you up in Williams Lake? Because I know a whole bunch of them. Oh. Or are you that? Are you up in the Caribou? And are we related? So this one's going to be 19 yards out, or just 19, 20 yards out. Going to have to set up a massive wall that's going to have to be there in force, and St. Clair's going to have to hope it comes over to his side. Dangerous spot for it to be in. Going to have to be at least 6 on the wall, and potentially one laying in behind, and yep, they're putting that person down. That's got to be the sucker job to end up taking the shot. Oh, you live in Vancouver. And, okay. We will figure it out. We will figure it out. I don't even want to look at this because I do hope I want to win this one. I do. I want Canada. This isn't a game that I get. It's not the major prize, but the jump in FIFA ranking, the assertion of who we are as a team building forward, the monumental success it would be taking out a massive squad and it's fired over top. Come on. Beautiful. It's one of those ones that it's in a difficult spot. Like you're finding a way to curl that up over the wall and down is exceptionally difficult. So you almost have to just bang it through and hope it gets through a wall, and that's going to be your opportunity. It's just I don't know too many people who can get it up and down in 19 yards of distance to be able to find the top corner any specific way. So. "37th minute." Is it just me, or is the stadium also filling up as we go through the process? And have you guys noticed the Ticketmaster? I haven't checked the Ticketmaster for Wrexham. We'll do that at the halftime break because I've been curious as to whether there's going to be a massive pickup as that game gets closer. Only 2 weeks away, a week away from the start of the Wrexham tour. Wrexham having started their get back. I haven't talked Dobson yet. Haven't talked, who I think is going to be showing up in that one. There's just so much going on. Football's a crazy sport because there's just storylines everywhere, every day, at all times. Even within just one league of a 4-league pyramid, and that's one of how many different leagues in Europe. And the women's schedule, if you haven't heard, is going to be released start of August. So we're going to get that here in short order. They've released at least when the cup matches and all that is going to be. So lots to go there. I do really want to do the Sunday games as well. It's just a challenge. But if the goal was to clean things up so that I'd be able to bring somebody in. This nice little pass by Schaffelberg over to Osorio. Gets it back. He's got some space. Oh! I thought that the angle that came off of the Schaffelberg entry over was going to be an own goal, just the way it kicked off of his foot. That was Caceres there with the deflection. And Jason, did they open up? And nice to see you, by the way, Jason. Did they open up the side over behind the players? Because right now is only the half behind the club seats on the opposite side. I'm looking forward to getting those all loaded up, and we'll see what ends up happening. I know there's a couple of people who've been doing flipped up over top. Yeah, we'll see. It's still looking like it's going to be 30,000 or so, which is no small feat. And I've heard the rumor that with TEG or TAG or whoever it is putting it on and being paid, so they're paying the money to the clubs outright. So less risk, but less reward for Wrexham, and they don't have to worry about all of the pressures of advertising and all that sort of stuff, or organizing and arranging it. Right-footed in swinger up in the air. Bombito not able to get there. Brought back out. That's well offside. And I think he knew that, Kone. Jumping up there. That was a half-hearted sort of like flick of the back of the head to try and get to it. And they raised it. Is that there was going to be no profit to the Whitecaps unless they were selling tickets in the upper bowl. And so it looks like at least that there's... no profit to TAG unless they were selling tickets in the upper bowl. And so it sounds like most of the tickets in the lower bowl are gone. That's great. I haven't heard anything. And the other thing, if anybody else hears over the time, feel free to send a message or on Twitter, X, or however, communicating just what other events they might have around the stadium itself. They had the games and drinks and pubs and all that sort of stuff sort of set around, because I imagine there's going to be people at the Pine who are going to want to get there. Ahmed, scoop, it's there! Oluwase, you got to be better than that. I was thinking he was wide open and clear. That was an opportunity missed, and my God. Lots of attack, but Oluwase, he's been sniffing around and he's had opportunities, but he's pulling Billy Waters yips right now. He's got Ahmed, creativity, flips it up over top of everybody, and all of us say sitting there staring at just the goalkeeper to beat. And at the very least, you got to get that on target, right? Still coming though. Kone, he's got flip. My FIFA controller didn't get him to do the flip fast enough. That's on me. Uruguay on the counter. De Fougerolles up against Nunez. And then Nunez takes him down and rolls on the ground injured, and Johnston goes and gives him... Well done on Johnston. The Celtic man knows he's got a young kid who's sitting there, who's got a yellow card and got beat on a goal, and he goes over and gets there. Hey, Brendan, all good. I had the whole thing crash again. And you guys dealing in the U.S. with all the crazy news that's coming out of there. Bugger me. It's a day. It's a day. Start with Wrexham and Hanley Town, and for anybody who's here, who's come in late as well, I've apologized now twice. I'll do it 3 times. A lot of people sending me messages complaining that I didn't watch the Hanley Town game or host a follow along on Twitter or something. I've lost a lot of subscribers as a consequence. I'm sorry. I didn't think that anybody would be really interested in just sitting and chatting while we all stared at screens and reloaded, not able to provide any insight really. Bombito gets it up to Kone, and Kone has been an absolute stud, and you think that his counter up there is the real Real Madrid guy. Oh, sorry! Oh! Cleared from the line. Bugger! 2 shots, great save, another header, and it stopped. Osorio doing the job there. You've got the Olowasoy miss. We are stirring the drink. It just tastes like garbage. Sorry, looking for things while we were at it. Osorio, great save on the first one. Headed past him and pulled off of the line. No. That was number 8, Nandez, pulling that one away from the line. Color guy's saying it should have been in the back of the net. I don't know what more Osorio could have done there. Maybe score on the first one, but the rebound that came back is, got the boot up on that one, and he's saying, no, nothing to me, but I think Ahmed got that one up. And we're getting a throw in here. I think that went out. I was too busy watching Ahmed and the reaction from the boot there, but I think we've got a throw in Alistair Johnston who can get it to the near post. Get one before the half, guys. We've earned it. We've been sniffing around here. No luck, no dice. Shots are up 8-5. Expected goals 1.16 to 0.41. We're up 58-42 in the possession. 3 shots on targets. 5 big chances. 5 big chances. And just the 1 goal. The young guys wanting to show that they should need some extra attention from Marsch here going forward. This has been exciting. Still don't know. I mean, Uruguay put out there all of their experienced guys. They put in their top men. And man, they would. Well done. And Kone, just working it. Valverde, Osarios gets it to Oluwase, backs it out to Osorio, over to Ahmed. Chouanier. 2 minutes of stoppage time, and this has been... The field has started to tilt here. Ahmed with a nice little flick to Chouanier, not able to get to it though, but I liked him on the right-hand side, and to be fair, he's got the ball again. Oh, nobody over on the left-hand side. Schaffelberg came over to add some assistance, left nobody over there. Yee. But Valverde, another Kone turnover. God, the touches, you guys. Somebody play the Harlem Globetrotter theme song. This has been some sexy stuff. And we'll get a... Lorea, the KG veteran, draws one from Palestri. And the Uruguayan coach, he's got to be livid. There's going to be paint coming off the walls. This is Uruguay getting embarrassed by the Canadians. And not even that, the Canadian B squad. That's impressive. I want to win this. I want to win this. Come on now, lads. But Kone, yeah, up against Valverde, who's with Real Madrid. He's had 97.7% of the Uruguayan minutes throughout this thing. Expected Kone to have to push, but what I said at the start of this holds true. The bigger the competition and the opponent against him, the better that Ismael Kone plays. You put him up against a powder puff, he plays like a powder puff. You could put him against Goliath, and he becomes Goliath himself. Chouanier far post. It's no call. No, I didn't hear a whistle there. That was awkward because I thought, and the ref. now the goalkeeper goes down. He jumps up to go and collects the ball. They get they get caught up. I don't think it's a yellow card, but I do think it was a foul, and he was offside in any event. Alistair Johnson gets up there and he goes and he plays it and he complains and then he falls down. Yeah, I'm with you, Charles. Everybody's talking about the ear. Betancourt scores, and then Ismael Kone with an absolute beauty. We are at the half, and I'm going to have to watch that one. That's one of the prettier goals I've seen in a while. Scissor kick through the air. Don't know what else he could have done with it. I mean, not one of those glorious ones where you're sitting there watching like the Andy Cannon blast, but still an impressive display of athleticism in a sort of a desperate phase. Want to build a poll here too while we're doing all this sort of stuff. Get everything all set up for the second half and find out what the shots were at. Shots seem to end at 8-5, so I will take that. As W&G highlighted earlier, all of the games that are starting on the 10th are going to be later games, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning instead of 9 o'clock for us, 5 o'clock BST. So I guess that's noon out on the East Coast. Prior to that, there are League 2 matches. Do we start everything off and go a whole 2.5 hours early and make it a 5-hour thing where we talk all things while we watch another game and just kind of reconnect, I guess, as it were, or do we just show up maybe an hour early and jump back into it and have the swing? Maybe I should put the poll out there and see what you guys think. I've got to return this back to... Well, if I do that, I've got to put the chat back in. Hold on. Let's see if I can figure this out. It's been a while. Right, Charles? Charles identifying, been playing some nice football. I absolutely 100% agree with you. We were the better team in that half. Our expected goals has been piss poor for the longest time, but they ended up demonstrating something special there. And so let's engage with the audience and start a poll. What time do we start the watch party for the opener? 30 minutes, which is normal time. Oh, we are going to do the first Rex Coast Tour game, absolutely. But there's no other matches before that. There's nothing else to consider. I'll show up 30 minutes before that. So the Bournemouth and the Chelsea game certainly going to be covered. And if somebody wants the keys to the castle and wants to run the other one, they can do that. Or else I can show up intermittently use some data and flash a couple of things from the stadium itself with Brendan in tow. Flags are ordered. 300 pins coming from our sponsor. Just did the cheap ones, and then we'll do the fancier ones later, and we'll see if they go over and people like them and do the actual embossed ones. Got obviously the big surprise, but which Brendan and I won't. We're wearing a special outfit. That's what I'll say. And then the other news. Rich and Nathan from Rob Ryan Red, Andy and Tim from Fearless in Devotion. They're both coming. Both sets, all four, and then we've got Wayne and from the Turf. We've got Mike from Declan Swans. There's going to be all that sort of stuff. Yes. Oh, and you wanted an hour? I thought you wanted half an hour. Let's do 1 hour. Let's do 1 hour. I thought, where did I get 30 minutes? 1 hour pregame. And I was just thinking, Brendan, before the main one, because there are League 2 games, do we want to watch the League 2 game? I don't know. If you've got a thing cooked, how about I leave it? I'll leave it. We'll leave it. I'm excited. I'm just overly excited anyway to get the whole thing going. Adran Premier League, the women's, they get their schedule is going to be released on the 1st, is I believe what they said. Adran Premier League fixtures and results, Gennaro Adran Premier League. I'm going to see where I found that and just make sure I've got it right. Must have been from Twitter. I want to say it was August 1st, because I thought, man, that's really late. And for those of you that came late, we can have a chat. What was your take on the Uruguay Colombia match? And if you watched it, the Uruguayan fans going into the stands, we talked about it pregame, didn't talk about it during the first half that much. Do you think that there should have been suspensions? And some people say no because they were going to defend their family. Do you think that that was the Uruguayans just looking for an opportunity to get out some frustration and getting into the muck of things and being able to say, hey, I was there to defend my family? Do you think that the greater failure sits with the enforcement and security, police that were there, and that it's a concern for the World Cup? Do you think all three of those are accurate? That they should get suspension, they got too involved, and the police are too. I'm curious to see if people that I know and what their take on it is, because you try to follow along on Twitter and get it. And man, watching Kone just blasting through the midfield and creating opportunities, just nuts. So fixture release day, Thursday, August 1st, 10 o'clock in the morning is when that's going to be released. They did provide some additional details as far as the opening weekend is going to be Sunday, September 15th. The final round of the Phase 1 will be February 2nd, and then they start, remember, the Adran Premier League with the women. The top four compete for to play in Europe. The bottom four compete to not be relegated. And then the Adran Trophy is going to start September 1st. So that's actually the first game. The first game for the women is going to be a group stage match. I don't think we're actually in group stage match day one for the Adran Trophy. Maybe we are. But it looks like it may be September 1st. And we'll have two games in that group for the Adran Trophy before we end up getting into league competition. And I don't see anything from the FAW with respect to the Welsh Cup, which will get intermixed in there as well at some point in time. Yes, yes, and yes. There we go. Brendan's got the comments. Yes, yes, and yes. And so he's with me. The enforcement failed, which I agree with. The Uruguayan players used it as an excuse and got into the muck. If you're watching the highlights and you saw that opportunity from Oluwase that they're just showing, at least in the Canadian broadcast right now, he needed to get that in. And Osario, I can't fault him. He gets the shot away here, and it's a good shot. Keeper comes all the way out, and that header, what do you do? The ball's right there, you headed it, and it got Claire's off the line. Marsch freaking out. And the last yes was, so should have been suspension. They did get involved in the muck, and enforcement's at fault. So it was an interesting thing to watch, and interesting to see the fight styles, because in North American, when the fans, especially in hockey, when they end up getting involved with the crowd, it ain't pretty. It's jersey tug and lots of rights coming. It didn't happen in this one. Lots of pomp and pageantry, except for that poor kid in the blue. Go back and watch that video, and when you see Nunez go into the crowd, count about 5 or 6 seconds, and you'll see a kid, I think he's training staff for Uruguay, climb to get up to the top of it, and something gets thrown at him from directly on the first row, and just it cleans him out, and he's out, and he goes for a spin. And I was trying to find video afterwards to see, if he was okay and what ended up happening. But this one, interesting. Again, I'll repeat myself because it's halftime and I don't know who caught at the start. Uruguay going with 9-10 of their top 11. Their keeper, their starter, everybody up front that they've normally had, their top players in the midfield. It's their top lineup. No suspensions for everything that happened. Jesse Marsch at the outset saying that that's a failure by CONMEBOL and that they're basically condoning the activities of the Colombians previously. And so then you end up looking at things like and now I've lost my train of thought because I was staring at something else. Awkward. I don't think that's happened. So Jesse Marsch saying that they condoning those actions. So they throw out their full lineup. The Canadians not throwing out their full lineup. De Fougerolles, let's be honest, not the best first half. The regulars that are playing for Canada are only Alistair Johnston sitting on the screen, the Celtic man playing on the right, playing as right back. Luc de Fougerolles getting only his second cap and his first ever start for the Canadian, 18-year-old from Fulham. So he yellow card and didn't look that solid, to be completely frank. He had another opportunity that he was probably let off the hook a little bit with a missed opportunity. So he's got some work to do, but hopefully he gets into it. And he did reassert himself with a nice defensive play late into the first half. Derek Cornelius sitting on the bench. The other regulars that have been out there, Richie Larea is wearing the captain's armband. The KG veteran, he did play some time for Nottingham Forest, but really has made it hay in the MLS, and he's back there now. He's a Band-Aid, and he's playing over on the left-hand side because Alphonso Davies may have hurt himself in that challenge in the last game against Argentina with that tackle in the 18-yard box where he kind of tripped over top, and so he's not into it. The only other regular really going, Osorio goes frequently. I think he's got some 200 minutes in the tournament so far. Larea, he's only got 57.5, but really changing things up. Friendly against Australia between Canada and Australia. Canada, the defending Olympic champion, and they take out the Aussies 2-1. Good stuff with no Christine Sinclair. And I do love the fact that the women are playing the Portland Thorns. Why? I want Ryan Reynolds to do everything in his freaking power to grab Sinclair and bring her over to either play or assist with the women's team. He's already tried to sell it, if you watch that video on her retirement from the international stage. And she's doing her last hurrah for season, wrapping up in November. January window, anybody? It'd be a lot of fun. Only the most international goals in football by anybody, Christine Sinclair. And she said she loves Wrexham. She says, the Canadian, if the money was good enough, she'd do it. And she says that she loves Ryan Reynolds and his gym. So it's a win-win-win for her, right? How amazing would that be? Just for the experience. So winding this one, we got at least one half here, and I don't know whether they're going to extra time on the bronze medal game. If anybody looked that up beforehand, I sure didn't. I was just thinking about that as I started. I wonder if they're going back to the pre-quarterfinal stuff where they go straight to kicks, or whether they play the 2 15-minute halves of extra time. Hopefully we don't have to worry about it. I mean, 5 big chances. That Fought Mob stuff staring me at the face saying we should be doing more. 1.31 on the expected goals, 8 shots, 3 on target, 5 missed chances, 4 big chances missed. The passing, not nearly as precise. You look at Uruguay, and if you'd seen them earlier on in the tournament, Uruguay's capacity to in the final third, the passes they were pulling off, their accurate pass percentage was not through the roof because they weren't passing behind the center backs, but was just threatening and constantly in the 80 percentile range. They're sitting here today only at 73% with only 101 passes. We've maintained possession 60-40. We've taken the chances. We've had it at them. And really the only option and opportunity they've had in a response has been de Fougerolles. He's struggled, let's be honest. And so what are our options? Do you bring in Cornelius in 1-1 game and run out our better players? And that's something to think. If this is still a game, we've got Davies and David and Laren and Eustachio and all those guys sitting on the bench resting. It could be a thing. It could be a thing. But then we were also tied with Holland, the Netherlands, 0-0. after the first half of that one, and they scored 4 in rapid succession. So I'm intrigued to see what's happening. Wrexham AFC, talk about the jerseys just really quick. Are you guys going to be buying your jerseys before you see them? There's the poll I can do. Are you buying a Wrexham jersey without seeing it? And we don't know whether we're going to see it or not, because it still may be that they end up showing us what we've got. We know the home is a red, we know the away is a black. The away is a black, and we know the third is a gold. But are you going to pay for it without buying it? I know my answer to the question, and I think I said that before, but I'll leave that. Not happy about that. Unnecessary. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me as we are underway here in the second half. That came quickly. They just ran it out there, and away they ran. So I'm a couple seconds behind. As free kick to start everything off for the Uruguayans at the midfield stripe. Oh, for the Argentina, Uruguay right to left, screaming forward, called for a penalty, not given. Did look like there was some contact there. But yeah, Suarez coming in for Nunez, the cagey veteran for the Uruguayans, getting his opportunity. 37, is that what I've got for his age? Let's just have a look at that. Luis Suarez, 37. He's picking up his 142nd cap at 37 years of age. He with all of 68 all-time international goals. But he's up there. Give him the captain's armband, and away they go. I didn't see any other subs, so I'm going to have to walk over to FOTMob and see if anybody else used the free halftime window to make some changes. Canada, Uruguay, live scores. Any other subs come in? Let's go back and check out the lineup. Oof. So it doesn't look like it. Ugarte and Nunez both coming out. Canada made no changes at the half. And you've got De Arrasqueta and Suarez coming in. We talked about Suarez. For De Arrasqueta, he's only played 149 minutes. Plays for Flamengo in Brazil, Serie A. And he's only had 31% of the match. 149 minutes, 31% of the tournament he's watched. I don't know. Like it's a way to curb the supply, or to at least allow. I mean, if you think you're going to sell out on all of them anyways, then maybe some people won't be buying them. And Schaffelberg with an opportunity in the 18-yard box, drew it back, but didn't get the pass back far enough, and so it came flat right to a defender. And the ref not allowing the ball to be played quickly, and Osario's a little bit confused. I don't think he cheated up the line, so I'm a little confused as to why that didn't get right back in. But in any event, now they'll give it. That was just an awkward. One of the more awkward throw-ins I've ever seen. Wanted to play quickly, couldn't play quickly, got blown down. I don't think that they were cheating their way up the line or anything, and it all gets thrown in, and they're going to give a free kick the other way. Not a good start. But I don't know, Brendan, do you think it was intentional to slow down the supply on the website and the interest and maybe have people grab them? I'll wait till everybody votes a little bit on the poll to see if it's going to influence their decision making on whether they're buying jerseys or not. I sure as hell would have liked them. I mean, it won't matter for us, but I sure as hell would have liked them in advance of the match in Vancouver. And somebody's got a knock there. Brendan, they just screwed up again. They can't fail out contracts, right? If you missed that one, Tunney's apparently still with the club, even though they released him. Not released him, didn't extend a contract to him when they thought it expired because somebody made a mistake on the entry, which I heard Nathan and Rich talking about it on Rob Ryan Red during their podcast. And an interesting conversation with that is, I don't understand why it's an issue. If as they said there, Tunnicliffe acknowledged that it was a mistake in the contract, and the club acknowledged it's a mistake in the contract, then it's just a mistake in the contract and it's over. Contracts are always evidence of the intention of the parties. The only time where I think there could be an issue is if the EFL is saying, hold on a second, you guys can't just do that. You've told us it's this long, so it has to be this long, and there's got to be some sort of punishment for it. And so I'm curious if they're going to smack Wrexham with some sort of fee, fine, obligation to give Tunnicliffe some money, because it makes sense, because maybe somebody didn't call them to say, hey, we'd like to bring Tunnicliffe in, because they thought they'd have to pay a fee rather than get him on a free, and it caught everybody off. Who knows? But I can see that being a mistake and something ugly they got to deal with. You have the moon and the signing of Armstrong from Harrogate that fell apart. You've got the jersey situation. You've got the failure to release a statement when the FA Cup decided that they're not going to do the replays. There's been a fair share of moments. And the academy. And that's probably the biggest screw up. Is who knows what's going to happen with the high school, who they have an agreement to agree at Darland High. Long ball. That's as good as a long ball as you're going to get. Knocked back, 18-yard box, and well done by Richie Larea, the cagey veteran. Now he's just blasting down. He's got legs for days. Cleared out. It's funny to me how Richie Larea has never made it with a domestic club. And I say that. So, are we looking for a job, Brendan? Go get my sports governance certificate and apply. Throw down. Richie Larea never really had that much success. Nottingham Forest, playing in the MLS, whether through TFC or Vancouver Whitecaps or wherever he's been. Just never really got it, but he like Kyle Larin puts on the red jersey, and all of a sudden the Maple Leaf charges him and powers him. Shawnee Air, nice little takeaway. Kone, waste of a ball. He tried to lead Schaffelberg, but had to lead him over to the right, and that's an easy collection. Everybody disappear for the half. This is an exciting game. Ali Ahmed beats his man. He's got an opportunity. 18-yard box. Couldn't get forward, but Ahmed, you have that flip that he gave. Oh, nothing given. Yeah, it had to have been given. Ref didn't give it. Linesman gave it to him, but that was a foul. Had to have been given. It's not a yellow card, but he did square him up in the chest and push him off, and they're going to line that up. Ahmed's looked sexy down that side. Ahmed sold that a little bit heavy with the neck throw, but whatever. But that flip that he had to Oluwase was gorgeous. And you see Davies there. I saw him just right there warming up with all the other players. He's certainly an option coming in. I thought he wouldn't be because of his ankle, but he seems to be all right. Chaunier, right-footed outswinger away from these two. I don't think he's taking a shot at them. Wants them to step back further away. Oh, Schaffelberg, left footer. Chaunier goes the other way. Nothing out of it. One. I think it's about 10 spots in the FIFA ranking at play for Canada if they can pull out the win here. I don't know what it is if they win on PKs, because I think it counts as a draw. They don't get all the points. But those FIFA rankings need to have a change. I hate that they've got to give more points away for people who play away or refuse to play away. It's too easy to inflate your numbers through that system. But it's nice for Canada actually playing some real competition and having a chance here. And $1 million for Canada Sport. Johnston, that could have been a yellow card. It was almost a nutmeg trying to march that one over and call it, and he stepped over top of the player there and almost gave him Gave him a teabag. So a collision between the two. I don't know what the ref's going to do there. It was like a 50-50 collision. Johnston wants it, but the Uruguayan was hurt more. So they're going to get it. Like Bielsa sitting on something, an iconic image of sport, as that says the Canadian broadcaster. Well done. Chaudière over to Kone. Kone. Nice pass all of a sudden. He's got the yips. Do we call them the yips now, or do we just call them the waters? Because he's been served some ball today. And to be fair, all tournament long, and the only goal that he scored was off of that offside that got taken away. He's looked good everywhere else. He looks exceptional everywhere else. He's always in the mix. He's always in the right position. He's got the waters. Nice little header by de Fougerolles to get that out and allow the defense to set up itself. The 18-year-old in his second cap, first start. Vigna threw that forward. It's going to be a free kick for us going the other way. Turned over as Betancourt, the goal scorer, couldn't handle it. How about now? Chaudière moving forward. Got some numbers. Oluwaseyi gets it wide. Oh, he doesn't get it wide. He had Osorio out on the left in some space and couldn't get there. Oof. Araujo going the other way. Looking forward to Suarez. Fenced off. Well done, de Fougerolles. You've got the aging Suarez. Oh, that wasn't Suarez. Was that Araujo? Couldn't have been. Palistri? I missed who it was. I thought just by position it was going to have to be Suarez. In any event, Argentinian attacker coming forward, and he's able to shelve him off, frame him out, and push the ball forward. Good stuff by the young kid. The standard box out that you'd see in the NBA. Next question, who are you most excited to see in a Wrexham jersey? And it can be an old player. It can be Ogonko coming back. It could be Dobson and what he's got. It could be, I'm excited to see Evans. Big fan of him, and I think he's going to have a big year. I'm curious as to if there's one person that you're like, that's what I want to see. And I got kicked off of Oluwaseyi. I missed that because the you could hear the thump and the bang and then the whistle and the ball going the other way. So I'm assuming he kicked that off of Oluwaseyi, but you had no idea as to whether Oluwaseyi was intentionally doing that, if he made contact, what happened. But anyway, nothing as far as free kicks, and we're under control. Ahmed 2-on-1, fighting his way through it, still scrambling, holding jerseys, and now Chaudière, and yeah, they're going to give the free kick. Ahmed a little bit too hard when the ball cleared away, stuck in the left foot, got him. Hauled him down. It's the right call. I've liked Ahmed. And I don't know what you do. 2-on-1. Oof. Could have been a dangerous ball there if that wasn't cleared and collected and taken away. Jesse Marsch had to deflect things and say he wasn't interested in the U.S. Men's national team coaching vacancy with Berhalter out. There was discussions they might go get Klopp, but he said no. So we'll see what the U.S. men start to do before their next round of friendlies, or at least grab an interim manager while they continue to look. We shall see. Osorio, left side, 25 yards out, nutmeg, gets it to Schaffelberg, and the defense for Uruguay has been a lot better in this half than it was in the last half. Either that or we haven't been able to connect as well. De Fougerolles against the veteran Suarez. Twice his age. 18 versus 37. Canada Ball, how are you, my friend? It's nice to see you, and I'm glad you're eavesdropping on things. Well done. That's a photo you take and you poster it. If you're De Fougerolles, you put that up on a poster. one of the premier goal scorers of all time in Suarez, and you took him on, ripped the ball, celebrate that. Nothing really, no shots, possession 57-43, passing Uruguay's gotten a little bit better, but really nothing to go 15 minutes in to the second half, 60 minutes into the game. Giveaway. Osorio. The ball from Larea. I think Osorio thought it was going to go forward to Schaffelberg, and instead he went forward to Osorio, and Osorio wasn't ready for it. You're too busy yelling at the TV. Absolutely permitted. 100%. Late clear, knocked down. Canada got some space. Ahmed at the center. Nice little pass forward. Oh, was say he didn't get enough on it. I had the great chance. I think he could have gone with it one extra step, but he ended up getting the right on it. Not enough weight. Is this going to go out, or is it going to be saved by Araujo, who crosses it all the way across and dangerous? Knocked down. And Kone. Ishmael Kone gets in and saves the day. Ooh. More subs. Rodriguez and Oliveira. You know, you bring in your subs, and you've got a guy who's 404 minutes. He started every game for them in Oliveira. Plays for Napoli and Serie A. Not bad. Not bad, bringing him in. So Palestri and Maximiliano Araujo. Maximiliano, one of their 2 goal scorers. So he's out. And here comes Alphonso Davies. So we're going to counter punch. Are we going to take out Larea? Alistair Johnston. So now we'll see how the back line ends up shifting, and whether Larea then goes over to the right side and leaves de Fougerolles there, because Davies is going to take his left spot. And so it looks like de Fougerolles there, and it does look like Larea has swapped. You got to give Larea some love. He just plays wherever, right? Like literally every position other than goalkeeper. I'm sure he's played for Team Canada because they just move him around the pitch. And he usually does pretty damn well, to be completely fair. Little step on the top of the boot for Kone. 61.5 minutes in. All I will say, he had space. He had space and time, and he just whiffed on that. Just a little bit more force on that, and it's going under the legs. Ooh, got him. He got him. That's got to be a card. Yeah, he got him. He didn't mean to, but all I will say, he steps right on his shins. That's why you have shin guards. Can't hurt that much. Right here, right foot extended, boom. Oh, no, it got the toes. Forget it. I thought it had him on the shins. It got him right on the toes. Yikes. Ouch. Caceres. Now an amputee. Missing 2 toes. But he still has his ears. Sorry, I shouldn't make jokes like that. Shouldn't make jokes. Kone. Free kick. You can only slow the man down by grabbing him. Ishmael Kone. You look at him, and you have to remember, 21 years of age, and he's only been playing football really competitively since he was 16. It took a long time for him to get into the game. Ends up being spotted a year and a half later, getting close to 18. He's playing with Montreal. Climbs the ladder, goes to Watford for his end of his 19, 20-year-old years, and now he's at Marseille, League One. On a big contract, just rocketing up. That's one of those kids that if you've got the scouts out there and you can find them, you're like, sign that kid up right off the hop. Ahmed over to Kone, middle of the pitch, 40 yards out, 35 yards out. Schaffelberg left side. Davies still not coming up. I was surprised by that. Schaffelberg with the dance, and we're gonna get a throw, I think, from that one. The Peruvians are there.
Oh, nice. Schaffelberg ekes out a corner. Chouanier are going to go over there and get it. Starting to turn the balance again. And I don't know if this is just a byproduct, and it could be a combination of two things. Is this our performance, Canada's performance, by our B squad, evidence that we've got something? Or is it more evidence that Uruguay just isn't putting in their top performance despite playing their top players? Because this is against the script of what you've heard from the narrative of everybody saying, hold on, Canada only scored 2 goals. They eked into the system. They had into the playoffs. They had an easy game. Ooh, de Fougerolles almost got his foot to the ball, and that would have been awesome. First ever start, and you end up scoring a goal from the back. Nice tackle by Schaffelberg ×2, clears it out, and we're going to get set up. Well done by Schaffelberg. So is it our B squad is better than we thought it is? Is this the Uruguayans don't really care? Is this a combination of the two? But to me, it doesn't matter. This has been a solid performance so far. Knock on wood, but I will take it. One of the better ones we've had of the entire, tournament. As we sit at 9 shots with an expected goals of 1.7. Oh, we deserve a positive fate here. But also, if you would have told me that we would take Uruguay... Ooh, he caught Larea. I don't know what happened to Larea there. I think he injured that by hitting Dane St. Clair. Larea does have a history of doing a little bit of Jody Jonesing. Yeah, nothing in it. Nothing in it. Jody Jonesing. Vigna out. Olaza only had 8 minutes so far. Plays in the Premier League in Russia. And see, here we go. Now we're bringing in our back line. We've got our top goal scorer, not of all time, but of recent times. He's got, 2 goals behind? I still think from tying his present teammate Kyle Larin. So that's 54th cap for Mr. David. Stepping in for the young guy. Good for him. David stepping in for Oluwase, the young guy. Good for him. Now we get those chances. You've got a finisher, and I think that's the frustrating part for Oluwase. He did everything that he was supposed to do. He pulled a Marriott. All the stuff that he was supposed to do, he did. Just not able to finish. We're in it, though. And if you would have told me that we had a chance to get to PKs against Uruguay in this match at the start of it, and especially when I saw the roster, I would have thought, yep, I will take that every day. As the game's gone on, we've demonstrated something special this game. And it hasn't been overly physical. And I would have thought a less than physical game would have benefited Uruguay with their technical proficiency to ours, but we've been carrying the balance. Less so for the first 15 minutes of the second half, but certainly that first half was all us. Right foot all the way to the other side. They just said the exact same thing as I was about to say into my broadcast, the Canadian broadcast. It's nice to see Cornelius out there. You want to talk about an epiphany. That's our 2 center backs in the middle. Cornelius and Bombito is trouble. Dane St. Clair, it's left. It's going to be a goal. Oh, it's cleared! Woo! Cornelius! We were just talking about him, and he comes in with a late tackle. I saw that ball floating out to the left on the extra pass and thought for sure that was going into the back of the net. That was oh-ohs all over the place. And Cornelius doesn't stop putting in the work, gets in and sweeps that out. How? Wow. No more of that, please. Go and get us $1 million, kids. Let's do it. Osorio with it. Back to Chouanier. Kone. David draws it all the way back. Larea. Too far back. And so now it's going to be a long ball, and all that build-up just got wasted. David's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Add 2 subs. Got to connect and plug in. Far cross, far post. Ooh, Bombito misses it and it's right there. Blocked again. Cornelius. He's a wall. Dane St. Clair, don't worry about it. Darnell's got you covered. Like a good neighbor, Cornelius is there. Right-footed outswinger from the right side here for the Uruguayans. Only 6 guys in the box. Missed, flicked over. Got to land on the Uruguayan boot because they've all got to be back there. Got room over for Suarez. Collected. That's one of those dangerous ones. It doesn't have all the pace and the ability to get open as he normally did. And if the ball ends up squirting onto him, you don't want that because he's still got the ability to connect. You think as a sub coming in and making 2 stops like that. Davies all the way through the midfield. Tries to dance Betancourt and can't do it. Comes free, goes back to Davies. David on the right, David on the right, David on the right. Davies is going to shoot that. You could... Oof! I didn't want him to shoot that. I wanted him to get it to David, but you knew he was... As soon as he went left instead of getting the ball to David, you know he's going to shoot that. And he didn't miss by much. Nutmeg and then over, but that was never going to go in. A little bit of a deflection, but I don't think that would have gone in any event. It's... We'll get a corner out of it. One of the things I like, Alphonso Davies is by far the best talent Canada has ever had in men's soccer. I still wish that he'd be a little bit more willing to share ball with his teammates. He does that so well at Bayern Munich. Him coming down the left and those drawback passes. Left foot in-swinger Schaffelberg, Darnell Cornelius not able to get there. Go and have a look at the chat and see what people are thinking. 56% saying no to buying the Wrexham jersey without seeing it. I'm in the yes camp. And I'm buying 2. I have the white from last year. I have the black from last year. So it's got to be a red. So I'm going to be buying it even if it looks like absolute dog's breakfast. And because I have the black, I'll get the gold. And if I have to wear the black one every once in a while, I'll wear the old black one. Long throw from Kone doesn't do anything. Rolls back out. We're now 35 yards out, so we're probably not looking to go into the box here. But the center backs are all staying up. Kone and Eustachio drying off the ball. The use of the bib. A little bit of coaching on the side from the KG veteran, the Porto man. That's a looping throw that landed on the boot. We'll take that. Bombito, nice little play. Kone gets it back, spins, gets cleaned out. Oliveira. Okay, we don't need to do that, Kone. Oh, I think he actually stepped on him at the end, though, too. I'll take it back. I think he got him on the boots. I thought if it was just for the boot and the in the back, he's fine. But I think he actually stepped on him, too. Chaudière lining it up, staring at it like a field goal kicker. Everybody else still waiting to see what's going on with Kone, and up he rises. Get me one. Get us one. Get the country one. $1 million for a goal. I think one more wins it. This is a 2-1 game or it's going to penalty kicks. One more wins it. Yeah, Davies puts it in. Bombito not able to get it, and I think they bumped heads. Bombito holding his nose. Oh, showing that replay. Darnell swipes it, and Suarez. Whew. His eyes had to be like this big. Hey, Josh, how are ya? It's nice to see ya. Thank you so much. I hope all is well with you. It's been a while since I've had an opportunity to drop into things as I've been taking the summer doing my own back-of-house prep stuff. But I'm excited to get back at things. And Josh, are you doing a watch party for the Vancouver game while you're here? Because if nobody else is doing it, I might, if you wanted to, throw it onto both channels. I know I'm going to do a post-match watch party if it's available, and I'm hoping to get the global Canada's broadcaster. I have to find that one because I've sent him a tweet that says every time he says the word sheep, I'll have a drink while watching the replay, and he said he was on. So it could be a lot of fun there. Perfect. Well, let's talk shop on that one because that would be amazing. Should be a full day of events for us, and so I'll connect with you and we'll figure out how to get the keys over on the restream or otherwise. I'll take, these are the important questions. Which car do I want, black or white? Okay, I'm working, guys. Thank you. I'll take the white car. We've got a car. Can you close the door when you leave, please? Thank you. Oh! Dangerous possible own goal. Bombito ended up getting that one done. Just missed that one by a foot. If you're just logging in, we've gone through the whole kit and caboodle in this one. Canada's been dominating really through most of the match. Uruguay coming on a little bit here in the last 5 minutes. But that first half was all Canada. Expected goals getting close to 2 for us to the 0.66 for them. Shots 12-7 as I look to update that. And the thing is we still have guys on the bench, and I'm expecting to see potentially Kyle Larin, potentially Eustachio, guys that normally start for us and are our big names making their way onto the pitch. Ooh, okay, so we're gonna go with Theo Bear. Theo Bear, third cap. Played in Motherwell in the Premiership. Again, Canadians being able to get into Scotland, but not into England. We are streaming the meet and greet, and there's a potential development there as far as doing something else as well. But I want to wait until I can confirm what that is before we do it. Or before we set it all up. So I'm going to be chatting to figure all that out. I don't think we're going to stream the whole. Well, maybe we do stream the whole 3 hours. Subject to that other additional thing that could be happening. So we will be streaming the meet and greet, but for the actual game, we'll have to hand off the keys. So I don't know, maybe we set it up, and Josh, we'll talk to Josh if he wants to, what he wants to do, jump on both channels when we sign off at whatever. We'll figure it all out. I'm easy. I just like to connect the community, have some fun, do our thing, lose subscribers, because I don't know, Josh, if you got in trouble for not, or if you did the Hanleytown game. Dangerous opportunity for Uruguay, just missed from the edge of the box. Yikes. Hanley, I did have that right. Hanleytown. I got into trouble for free kick. Kone get me a yellow card. I didn't see that. To be completely fair, the ball was away and I was tracking it and I missed that. So I got into trouble for not having a watch party during the Hanleytown match, even though it wasn't streamed. I guess people wanted to chat while it was going on. I don't know if you did anything on your channel or not. And for the people that are here that don't know, Global Watch Along or the Red Herd, wherever you're at, check out the local pundit. He runs things almost every day, if not every day. Follow the news of Wrexham. And he throws in the odd international as well. Probably, I assume, doing the England-Spain game tomorrow. I'm not. I'm just going to soak that one in personally and embrace it. And I get, do I cheer for the 3 Lions? Like, I feel wrong doing it. But I think I kind of have to because my wife and kids, I'll have that flowing through them. The in-laws would disown me. Right footer, oh, dangerous ball. I think the players held up there on their attack and it just ended up rolling to Dane St. Clair. It originally looked like it was going to be a ball that was set up perfectly to run onto, and it didn't quite happen. Miller, dancing, the Preston North End man. Yeah, I'll try and do that. And mass chaos with the kids, but at least now that they know it's England and Granddad watches, they give me a little bit more leeway. So for sure, try to do that. And when you say drop in, you're just saying view, not that you want me to actually connect. I could do that too. Got work to do, and then it's got to be a mass cleanup and try to get everything ready. I'm still hoping, although I haven't heard from my guy about all the design stuff, and so I'm hoping that it's going to be ready with enough time for me to prep things. Kone running 60 yards. Go the whole way, Kone. Score a cracker. It's David! Yes! 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 Jonathan David! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Give Kone the assist of the century. That needed one, maybe not, but he ran the whole length of the pitch there, gets the shot off. Canada's up 2-1. Mark it. Holy, is that worth $1 million? Is that worth $1 million? I gotta love it. That's what Jonathan David does. Is he's a poacher. He just finds the ball and gets you goals. Jason Smith thinks he scared the neighbors. Vinyl's giving it the no F way. You can't do nothing. Jonathan David, he's just ice in his veins. Kone smashes it. Keeper's down and out. Their defender's not named Darnell Cornelius, so he can't get the block. And David just slides it. The little skip over top of his hand. How gorgeous. How gorgeous. Whew! Now we gotta hold on. Hold on for $1 million. Love it. Jason's freaking out the neighbors. Vinyl's screaming, oh. 10 minutes. It hasn't been a lot for extra time. I think there's going to be more. I'd say 4 minutes. They're going to give Uruguay an opportunity to get back. But Jonathan David, who now, by the way, just 1 goal behind tying the all-time Canadian record for most goals with Kyle Larin, who's also on the team. So they've been Kyle's been slowing down and David's been catching him. So they're fighting. It has been deserved, and that's the best part. This has been a glorious performance by Les Rouges. Les Rouges. And the Voyageurs, the name that they give to the fans, have to be screaming all over the country. Come on. We went to a tournament involving Brazil, and we're already finished ahead of them. Potentially the same is true with Uruguay, Mexico, the U.S. Holy, what is life? What is life? I shouldn't have said the U.S. I have friends down there. I don't need to kick you guys while you're down. Going to be a free kick the other way. Suarez wants a yellow, but we had defenders back for slowing things down too much. I will say I do think that the U.S. needs to get players. It needs to have more of its matches outside of the U.S. I know it's good for financially to have them at home, but I think that the challenge of taking on teams away sharpens them a little bit. And I think staying at home they can get comfortable, and I still think they've got the players. Oh, Canada. Hold on. All right. Free kick, right-footed. Dane St. Clair, their header, and it's going... Whoo. And the thing is, too, Dane St. Clair, the substitute keeper in. And I'm wondering what else we're going to do for potential subs. Eustachio come into the middle. Do you take him? Do you put him in for Osario in the middle of the pitch defensively to try to bring this thing home? I would. I'm not touching the back line anymore because I don't trust Waterman and Kamal Miller. Unless you're going to go 5 in the back and bring somebody out from the front out. Larea slowing it down strategically. Larea giving Suarez a push for the Larea with the little antics. He's a pest. He is your Brian Marchand. If you watch hockey, he's a pest. He
He's dramatic when he needs to be. He's feisty when he needs to be. He's not always a flopper, but he certainly flops. He'll couldn't get it to Theo Bair with a soft touch from David, but he nicks it back. How many times have we done that? And then he's fouled. That's got to be a yellow, and I would have loved to have seen him play advantage there. Had to stop the attack, so you just fall backwards and you manage to trip him up and bring him down on the heels. He roped them backwards. Yep. Yep. Let the clock tick, boys. Let the clock tick. Bentancur. 2 goals for him. Chouanier. Where does this kid come from? I mean, I think as far as Canadians go, everyone's performed well when they've been in, except for Kamal hasn't had a good one. Chouanier, I said how well good's this kid been, and then he punched that one straight to the keeper. Ick. But, dragged him. That's just a free kick. You don't need to show your card for that. Darnell. The little drag. The little drag. It's getting physical now. Canada, hands on everything. And hey, yellow cards accumulation doesn't count for nothing. So if you don't have a yellow card, you better be taking one before the end of the match. Safe clears. Racing for the flag. We watch the clock try and tick down. Looking for a $3 million payday. $1 million more than we've already earned. And I think a top 30, not top 30, top 40 will be closer to top 30. And now we've got a question, a free kick from 20 yards out, just outside the 18-yard box. That one probably may have been unnecessary. 19 yards out. Yeah, Chouanier. I don't think he intended to catch him, actually, but he sure did. The nicotine starting to... By the way, 36 days without a cigarette. But I'm still popping these like candy. They're going to start moving bodies forward. I still feel there's got to be a save by Dane Sinclair. Right foot in swinger. Lots of heads there. And, of course, who's the man that's there? Cornelius. He's not going to be playing in Malmo for very long. Liam Miller. Oh, he can't get it free. But Theo Bair saves it, and Kone with Miller. Why? Oh, it hit him. It hit the referee. Thanks, Jason. 1,000 times more confident, Marie. Like, I went into this hoping that there was an outside chance that we could maybe sneak out of the group. And we did. It wasn't necessarily pretty, but Canada's problem never getting results. And all of a sudden we're finding results. We've always looked like we belonged, into my eyes. Looked like we belonged, but never been able to get there. And all of a sudden, just that little extra step, whether it's confidence, whether that's Jesse Marsch's tactics, whether that's the players getting a little bit better, I don't know. I don't care. But the team has, like, we've had quality. We just haven't been able to put it together, and now all of a sudden it's starting to come together in this game. How did Schaffelberg go down? Problem with Schaffelberg is he flops way too much. He's never going to get a call. I don't know how he hit the ground, but he hit it early. He's got to fight through some stuff. And I've liked Theo Bair's looked like he's been all right, and I appreciate that, Jason. It's been, I mean, it's always going to be a struggle, I think, for the rest of me days. But the one thing I look at is for every 8 seconds I don't have a cigarette, I gain an extra second with my kids. So I will take that. Liam Miller, playing on the right side, going to get a throw, loops it over top. Nobody there, and there's the poacher. Just loose ball. Jonathan David just always seems to know where the ball's going to end up off of somebody's head or foot. Miller, nice little touch over to Leray. Too heavy, and it goes out. And he's going to grab it and go for a run before he throws it back. And he always hands it over to somebody so nicely. He grabs the ball so they can, runs it to another player after everybody gets set defensively. Oh, here you go. I was helping you out. Richie Larea. What a pest. I could watch that Kone to David goal over and over and over again. Just runs it all the way down. The Uruguayans are not going to go home happy.
Congratulations to you. It's no easy feat. I know that for damn sure. 1 minute until we find out how many extras we've got. I'm guessing 4. Oh, boy. Anybody clear it? Just pump it down. Theo Baird knocks it forward. Get on the man. There we go. Simple stuff. Everybody back. Suarez, he's offside. He's offside. No flag up. It was offside. It was offside. Don't give him a corner. He was a foot offside. Short corner. Cleared out. Jonathan Davies able to get it wide open. Where's the left, right back? Flipped over. Cleared out by Larea. David, not a position that Canada's used to do in defending a lead against a top-level opponent. This is new territory. And you go through the whole tournament, we haven't really been in the spot to defend a lead. Theo Baird tried to chase it down, couldn't. 5 minutes. I thought 4. I thought I was being generous at 4. I thought it was going to be 2 or 3. Got the flop, no advantage being played, so that's good. Right cross into the box, missed the header, but whew, fortunately Bombito there to collect it. Jonathan David, Liam Miller, just looking for a red jersey to get the ball to safely, and then eventually thump it down. I don't think Marsch was the right guy for the U.S. I think he was the right guy for Canada. We needed somebody with a little bit of pedigree and some experience. I think the U.S. can afford somebody bigger and better. To be completely frank, the thing that Marsch brings is something that fits with the Canadian style as far as our players go, and I think the U.S. is a more controlled style than our jitterbug, high press, go after and get it. And so him having the confidence to let the young kids do their thing, I think is exactly what we needed. Oh, there's trouble. Dane St. Clair, whoa! Knocked away by Cornelius after the save as Suarez gets his 4th opportunity in the second half there. Dane St. Clair with the answer. 3.5 minutes, and it runs to the corner. Holy. Holy. And with Suarez, you have to think he's running the window closing on his potential international. You don't know if this is going to be one of his last games, and if he ends up scoring one to draw it in and all that sort of stuff, whether he says, I'm going to go out on a high. I don't want him to. Suarez, I cursed it. I cursed it. I've got to keep my big mouth shut. It's like I script this stuff. Yeah, no issue with the onside on that one. You just, as soon as I saw him there, they're going to get it to him. 69th goal in his 142nd cap. The 37-year-old. Well, we're still in it. And that's what the broadcaster just said. Maybe his last international game. So you put him into the penalty kick stuff, and he pots ones there. They're going upstairs, but he's onside. There's no issue with the onside. He's way onside. The ball's ahead. It came back to him. What waste of a search, but that's fine. Gotta make sure. Your thoughts are my thoughts. All of you. Oh, interesting. They just announced he's the oldest goal scorer now in Copa America history. Great for him. Chouanier, that's a second one of his tough tackles. unfortunate because I mean, so close for us and deserved by us. Uruguay's come on. Possession's now almost 50-50. Passes are 4 apart. Pass accuracy is 1% benefit to them. Shots are now 14-12. So, but a lot of that was us sitting back and defending while they were throwing the kitchen sink at us. And now we'll see what happens. Can we turn it on and go forward? And I think we go to extra time. That makes sense after the quarterfinals. You're not going to go back and settle a final. That was well done. Trying to get Suarez the ball sneakily. If that would have gone in, I would have ended up throwing stuff, but then also ended up smiling and while cursing at the football gods for giving Suarez 2 to steal it. It's been a lot of fun though, right? And I don't know when I've been able to ever say that about Canada. Like, I've gone through watching the fall against Jamaica, qualifying for this tournament, which was embarrassing, and that second half down in Kingston was brutal to watch when we were entirely in control. I've seen us struggle in Honduras and Guatemala and Nicaragua. Interesting, that extra shot. Basketball, ice hockey, North America, code of conduct is the whistle blows, the horn goes. You do not take a shot on goal. Not the same in football, it seems. We still have Kyle Laird to come off the bench to take pens. If you're going to pull those late in the second half. Is there anybody else that subs? I mean, we've got 30 minutes of madness still. Just nutty. This game is crazy. Like, I felt all the highs. I thought this was all gonna be a moment. And it still is. I still look at the positives of this thing. We have dragged... What do? I haven't gone into a stoppage time with this. Do I reset this to 90 minutes now? And put it at 3? Will it let me do this? It is a moment, right? Like, when this tournament started, we came in at 48th overall in the world, never having won a game in a major international. And I don't count the Gold Cup as a major international. We won the Gold Cup. But like Copa America or World Cup, we never got out of the group. Never won a game. We do that. We get into the quarterfinals. We've advanced past Venezuela. We have the world champion, defending Copa America champions, one of the best players of all time, and we didn't embarrass ourselves. We weren't in their league, let's be fair, but we didn't embarrass ourselves. And then you get Uruguay, who, to be fair, when this tournament started and I was watching them, I thought these guys are better than Argentina in current form. And they're here because of after a close game with Colombia, but still an exceptional team. And I think you're right. Are we doing pens? Nobody's said that. I'm sure that they would. But I'm with you, Marie. I think that's the message is and long may it continue. I just love this as an opportunity for more Canadians to get over there, and I didn't realize the importance of the FIFA ranking in getting to the UK. And you have language challenges elsewhere, potentially, not the ones out of Quebec and the French speakers and those that grew up in a household learning a second language. But for so many kids, I imagine that language thing is an issue. So they are saying pens. I need to have an XOXOXO thing. We have one in the new setup, but we don't have one for this setup. And looks like it's going to go to pens. All right, so let's go to... Let's too bad we didn't get Laren in the last little bit. Why wasn't... did we lose up all of our windows? I didn't think we did. So let's reset all of this. Jonathan David to start. Canada's going to go first, so we clearly won the toss. Why is that not working? Dane St. Clair. We haven't seen him in pens. I don't know, a young guy. Well, but he's had shootout experience for club and country, so, well, you'd expect all of these guys to have experience in shootouts. It's a big part of the game. RKO, you showed up just in time. Kent throws out the hugs and kisses. Thanks for that, Kent. Hugs and kisses. We are going to have that. 0x, that's what we're going to have. I don't have a way to put it up here, so I'm just going to run it this way, and away we go as I try to distract myself. Jonathan David, second in League One, scoring to some guy named Mbappe. Come on. Pots it! At a goal, at a shot. Come on, St. Clair. Let's get ahead of this in time. Let's get ahead of this early. Let's do the damn thing. Put the pressure on him. So you know it's going to be bookmarked. David's going to go first. Davies is going to go second. Valverde. Kicked and scored in the first one. I can't even look. I can't even look. I can't even look. Real Madrid. And I don't think he had a good game against Kone. I thought he'd got outworked by Kone, but he's able to pot that one. 1-1. So you set your top guys out first. Ishmael Kone's got to get a cold one too. I mean, he's the one who scored. He was our sixth shooter against Venezuela, and he had a cold, ice cold in his vein delivery. Oh, man. Bombito. Went the right way. I mean, if it goes just inside the post low, there's nothing you can do about it. I'll tell you what I don't like. I want Davies, when he does take his kick, keep it low. He's Hollywooding it. That last one to that top right, I mean, it was a great pen, but the increased possibility of making a mistake by looking to go top corner is too much. What's happening here? So they say that St. Clair might have actually grabbed the water bottle that has the position that he should go depending on who the kicker is and threw it away. And he only got a yellow for that because, like, that's the whole strategy, right? Anyway, the young man from Colorado, playing for the Colorado Rapids, Bombito. Oh, come on. Come on, young man. Pause. Come on! They're saying that they think he threw the other goalkeeper's water bottle away, and if you don't know, on the water bottles, they typically have where to dive strategically. They get all the stats of which way to go, left or right, based on who's kicking. So they do their review, and they've got that as a cheat sheet, and the rumor is... the color commentator said that he thought he threw his water bottle away with all of the cheat code. Whether it went too far, I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. Dane St. Clair, just make a save now. You got a yellow. You're being a smart ass. I agree. That'd be hilarious if he did. Never heard that happen before. Oof. I think that Bentancur, when he hit that glorious shot, but that's what I was just saying. You go up and you run the risk, and you could see him kind of sink, like he didn't know if that was going to go in. But 2-2. Watch his reaction there. I don't think he intended it to do what it did. Because it looked like he sunk before he celebrated Kone. You knew he had to get one. Not a lot, to be fair. I mean, we had the one against Venezuela, but I'm trying to think of the last time that we had pens because we play friendlies. We had one against the U.S. We had two against the U.S. in the last like 2-3 years, and we won one and lost one. If I recall correctly, I'm just going off the top of my head. Kone, he went right before low and slow. He ran up and he had a pause and a pause, run up, pause, pause, and deliver. Saved. He went right before. Need St. Clair. I like the fact that he had the same delivery because you got to stay with what you know and what works for you. But at the same time, he didn't get any advantage of it because it's just recently been seen. Oh, I thought he went to the right against Venezuela. They just said that he went the same way. Just boot it. I get it. We have a lot of stuttering compared to everybody else. Dane St. Clair, we need a stop. We need a stop. We need a stop. Missed straight through. Well, pressure's on now because you got to get this one in. Because if you turn the table and you don't get this one, you're running out of things. I'm with you. I prefer, if it's just me, an interesting Chouanier getting a shot. I mean, this kid's been out of nowhere, and he's played exceptionally well. I've never seen him take the shot. I haven't seen it yet. Flip that around, tuck the tag. First start for Canada ever, and he's going to take a pen in a high pressure situation. Whoo, boy! Come on! Still in it. We need St. Clair to do one now. Need him to do it. Suarez, he's still coming up? Yeah. You knew he was going to hit the drama, didn't you? You knew it had to be him. He was going to get his shot. Miss. I don't like the drama. You already had your storybook. Well, we're down to a 12.5% chance. Flip a coin 3 times because you need us to score. And I'm saying it's a 50-50 chance of scoring. It's probably not. But if you take it at 50-50, we're at 12.5%. It's probably less than that because it's easier to score than to stop. But you need a goal. You need a stop. You need a goal. Alphonso Davies. And I've said this right at the outset. Don't be a hero. Just get it in the net. That's all I need. I'm leaving the tag out. That's the luck. Right there. That's what we're going for luck. Come on, Davies. I knew it. It's over. We had to score, and did I write that? I said I don't like the fact that he keeps trying to smash the ball and get it up. Like, it doesn't have to be a highlight goal. You just need to put it in the back of the net. And I had a feeling. He was going to come in late. The last one I thought was reckless and unnecessary. I agree. It wasn't deserved. I believe that we deserved better than that. We outplayed them for the majority of the game. But this, again, that's sort of old school Canada in the sense that we don't get the results. The difference being we're playing against Uruguay, and they're a top-level team. I've already sort of done the Monday morning quarterback assess the entire tournament, and the entire tournament's been miraculous. You'll take this. I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of the performance. I'm proud of the growth. It's upward for there. And to be fair, as much as you hope they win because you've got the opportunity to go and celebrate and enjoy it, I'm also thankful of the fact that this one stings a little bit. Because I'm hoping that adds a little bit of fuel to the fire, because I do think that we have the moxie. There are some things that have to change. I love Alphonso Davies, and he's the most talented footballer I've seen. Well, not just seen. He's the most talented footballer that's ever put on the Team Canada jersey. And he's an exceptional leader, and he's a solid young man, and he's 1,000 times better at football, 1,000,000 times better at football than I will ever be or have ever been. But somebody needs to sit him down and talk to him. Somebody needs to sit down and talk to him. He runs at too many defenders that are high quality, thinking that he's going to be able to beat them. I don't think he trusts his players enough to be able to play with them instead of trying to make the highlight reel goals and stuff. He gets attention for that, and he had to do it when he had nobody around him. But they've shown that he can do it. That's just it, Vinyl. We're there for the World Cup, and we've got the guys, right? And there's a couple of other options that are still out there that are interesting, that could come into the squad. Something to look at when you watch the Olympics is Jay Herdman. That's former coach John Herdman. He's playing with New Zealand. It's not considered a competitive match such that he'll be cap tied. It's still considered a youth match because it's U23 at the Olympics. He's a player who there may be an opportunity for him to end up coming to Canada if he deserves it. There's a couple of other transfers that they've been working on, players that have played for England that are no longer playing for England, that they could still play for Canada, that they're allowed their one transfer. One of the issues is one of the competitive matches is within the last 3 years, so I don't think that he'd be able to do the transfer, but they're working on having conversations like that. So the team, as far as its players, is going to get better. The players that have been playing have shown that they can swing with the big guys, and so hopefully that's confidence that will serve them well in 2026. As a host, we won't be drawing one of the top teams, right? At least I assume that that's going to be the case. There was discussions of whether that would or wouldn't, but it should be that the Mexico, the U.S., and Canada, as the three hosts, all go into pot one with the top teams, and so they'll end up drawing a pot that they should be competitive in, and probably a favorite to get out of, and that's language that I never would have thought I ever would have said out of my mouth. So absolutely bonkers stuff. Thank you guys for being here for this one. A lot of fun anyway. My heart's a little owie. It just doesn't sit well. Empty-handed. Thanks, Patrick. Mr. O'Shaughnessy. Chokes again. We've never been in this situation. I don't know how we choke again when it's all new to us. World Cup, never got out of the group stage. 86, we didn't even score a goal. We've got the moxie, and I think that's what this tournament has proven. So I don't agree with you that it's a choke again situation. I think we were in a situation where, as I said, I don't remember holding. Canada's never had to hold a lead in a major tournament. Certainly not in a game where $1 million was on the line against a top level team. We did choke against Jamaica. That one I'll chalk up there. To get into the tournament, we had to go backdoor against Trinidad. And we had an ugly match, ugly half in Kingston. We came out and scored 2, and then we let them score 3 and take it from us. And that one will irk me for a long period of time. Hey, look, for those of you Wrexhamites looking forward to doing things, we've got Saturday the 20th, 4:00 p.m. I will be here to do the Bournemouth one. We've got the Chelsea one on the 24th, which I'm 90% certain I'll be able to do, and if not, we'll figure out some substitute because I want to make sure that it's there. And then obviously for the Vancouver match, not going to be there because Brandon and I will be in the stadium, and a whole host of stuff going on. It'll be crazy. I'm sitting front row at the Hollywood Theatre to watch Parkey and Humphrey do their thing with Men in Blazers, and then got a potential news to come after. Well, so then the Welsh Hall, there's lots of stuff going on, and then the pint and a potential announcement related to that. So there's lots happening as far as the Wrexham stuff goes. So we've got the 20th, the 24th, the 27th for those 3 games, and then they've got the Fleetwood. It is Fleetwood Town on August 3rd, the week before at 7:00 in the morning before we get started. 9:30 my time, 5:30 over BST, and that would be 12:30. Yeah, Yeah, 12:30 over on the East Coast, and it'll come hot and heavy then because we turn around on that Saturday, spin it on the Tuesday with Sheffield United in the first round of the FA Cup match, which has lots of yummy in it, and then the Bolton match away, and they've charged us extra money to get over there. So lots of football coming and in short order, and I'm wondering if I got enough ready for the summer. But and I'd like to get some stuff out in the meantime and in between time, but we'll see if we'll be able to do that. The women's match is not coming until September. I looked that up earlier, and I think I closed it off. And so but August 1st, they'll announce their schedule. So a whole bunch of stuff happening. We don't even know what we're going to look like. No kit announced, but for Team Canada, the Canadian men's national team, disappointment, but also something to celebrate and be proud of. We've, a lot of teams, tactical manager on Twitter being one of them, saying, we've been lucky and not good. I don't think that's true, and I like the fact that this Uruguay game showed something different. It showed us we scored. We scored. We were in it. We were pushing the play. I wish that Oluwase would have found one of his. I don't want to have to kick you, Patrick. We're not good at that sport. Well, the women are. But anyway, I'm wrapping up anyway, so feel free to spam if you wish. I've closed down the chat to be able to kick you. And so it is what it is. Much love to everybody. We will see you if I have a video that comes out in the meantime. I've got to do I think, by the way, the Who Are You series, I'm just going to run them live. And I'm going to run them live probably late at night my time, which is disappointing because I think the only people who will be able to see it are the Aussies and the West Coast folk. For those of you in the East Coast, it's probably going to be like at 2 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning. I just don't have the ability or the time to sit and edit all of them all out as I normally would, and I think I can do it better this way. So we'll do that probably live each time. If somebody wants to join, we'll get the details out for that, and it allows me to get them all out. See you guys in Vancouver for Wrexham. Awesome. And if you missed it, Hollywood Theatre on the Thursday, Friday at the Cambrian Hall with the Welsh Vancouver Welsh Society doing that. Before the game at the Pint, and then after that one there's fireworks. It'll be at English Bay at 10 o'clock if people are still up and able to survive and walk after a full day of drinking and football madness. So anyways, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for being here for this one, guys. Talk to you guys later, and see you next week, if not before.